Alright, so I'm doing a challenge trying to platinum every single game inside of the Ubisoft Plus game catalog on PlayStation. And if I can't do it before we hit 690,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I have to tattoo the platinum logo somewhere on my body. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Alright, so today I decided to wake up and platinum the third game inside of the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection called Assassin's Creed Revelations. And after finishing it today, I can confidently say I've also had a revelation. This game is trash. But it does have a total of 50 more trophies, including the platinum inside. They are spread out across the main story, miscellaneous, collectible, and even DLC, which is one of the worst I have ever played. Roblox is better than this game's DLC, I swear to God. So anyways, let's just begin the third round of torture for this classic collection and also the finale for Ezio's story here in the Creed. The game opens up with you just wandering around as Desmond inside the Animus because poor Buddy is losing his mind. Like, when I say he is losing it, I mean the guy is legit losing it. It's falling apart to the point where he is going to become brain goo due to his time inside of the Animus. But the Animus is also what's keeping him together, so it's like a forbidden relationship. Kind of reminds me of your dad and his mistress. Anyways, Subject 16 is also here, who has been a common reference throughout the previous two games. But once we waltz on into the glowing door frame, the game truly begins and we get to see that every single Ubisoft developer that you could ever imagine and more did indeed work on this. So we can now laugh at them all. Anyways, Ezio ended up getting captured by the evil people again and also is getting old. He has gotten gray hairs and everything. But bro still has that sixth sense and manages to save himself from being hanged. After defying gravity, we also then got to play again, and this entire first section of the game has a lot of tutorial things showing us how to do parkour, perform actions like killings and executions. So overall, it's typical for an Assassin's Creed intro. But I did like how it had us in a foreign land, much cooler than doing this inside of Detroit. I did end up getting dragged by a horse carriage, however, a bit later on, and the ball rash is gonna go crazy the next morning. Thankfully, that didn't last forever, and we even got to drive a horse carriage ourselves. Ignore the disastrous death, it's part of the experience. This section of the game's intro then ended up ending off with us just climbing a tower and then jumping on a bald man to get rid of him. We also got a death kill cam like usual and actually stole his book, which is kind of rude. But that's also something we are after the entire game. Knowledge. Because it's power. Like that one guy said. Bacon. I then got my first trophy, and next up, since we made it through the intro, or first sequence if you want to be real with it, we ended up sailing into Constantinople, which is, as you could guess, the location where the game takes place. The entire place is overrun with Templar agents, as a matter of fact, and it's now our job to disrupt their influence and even more find pieces of Eden. This plot sounds familiar. Almost like it was the plot of the last two games. We also met this dude right here who is the guide of the game, in addition to also being the leader of the assassins in the city. The entirety of Sequence 2 then began and was almost solely about this guy showing us around the city, teaching us things, and lots of BS climbing that ranged in difficulty. But ultimately, the final task with him was to take down the first outpost type location in the city. Basically, it's just the area with Red and main evil leader. So I did that and then lit the tower on fire because that makes the enemies scared, but it also did give me a trophy. Sequence 3 then had more lore inside of it, if you will, and good old Ezio met another dime piece. This man has unspoken riz, I swear, even in his old age with withering away body features, bro is pulling more than any of us ever will. What the f? This man needs to be studied. So yeah, we met some redhead. Turns out she watches after this building that also conveniently has an entire hidden tomb inside of it. What a coincidence. We then explored the tomb because curiosity is a bitch, but eventually made it out with an important relic. And we also talked to Shawty again. She's still doing great. We then showed our new best friend the relic. Hashtag BFFs. Ezio then made it to a study so he could study the relic, and after touching it more, we ended up getting some flashbacks to another assassin who most likely used to wield the relic also. This guy's name is Altair, I think. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but you play as him a lot in this game, and I never really paid close attention to what was happening here. The full sync objective on this level, though, was also complete ass because it doesn't explain to you at all what you're supposed to do. So I spent a while here, like more than I wanted to, but eventually we killed the guy we were after because we're in the Creed. duh. And then we ended up back playing as Ezio, of course, since the game is about him after all. And the final mission for sequence 3 was to chase down a man and kill him. I love being a part of a cult. It's amazing. I even got 2 trophies after doing this. It was great. Sequence 4 had us first take up musical interest and even go for it as a career. Shocking because Ezio sounded better than Taylor Swift does, and it's not even his day job. Oh my god! We also did participate in a few cases of homicide, but only a few. We then had to intervene with a pervert hitting on our Ginger, and I tried to explain to him that she is ours. The mere sight of my girth must have been enough to scare him off though, because the drunk lad ran away pissing himself instantly. Now on a more boring note, I also got to explore another tomb, but come on, there was no females here, so it was lame. And to end off the sequence, we got the journey as Altair again, but instead of killing people, we just carried someone to safety. What a good guy. And yeah, there's the sequence 5 trophy. At some point during sequence 6, I also started a riot with the citizens after bribing some people, and that was shockingly easy to do. No wonder politics in America are so sketchy. But during this riot, we all got attacked like it was January at the Capitol, and during the panic, I managed to get 5 kills on guards while inside of a smoke bomb smoke. They never even saw it coming. We then got to rizz up Shawty again and even did a house call for her, but I'd do anything also, Ezio. I get it. And hey, look, another tomb mission following right after with another Altair mission. I'm starting to see a pattern form with how the story is structured. There's no way it took that many Ubisoft developers to conjure this up in the Witch Bowl. I refuse to believe it. But hey, another trophy, so yeah, another trophy. Sequence 7 then had the usual pattern we just figured out, where you do something cool to start with, like cosplaying with the furries, but then you just hit up the sneaky link, raid a tomb like we have boobs and raid tombs, and also become Altair again. So yeah, that's great. However, this time with sequence 7, we also unleashed a full-blown terrorist attack on the shipping division of the Templars and blew them all up with fire. Now, goddamn, that is something unique. I'll give it to the 34 developers that made this game. Well done. And there's the sequence 7 trophy. I also just realized that that was actually sequence 6, so my apologies. I don't care. Sequence 7 then began again, and this one actually took almost entirely in place on this island called Epstein's Island. I thought it was wild also. I can't believe they named it that. Anyways, there was less of the usual pattern here because gingers don't travel well. But I also did get a trophy for crafting a lot of bombs right here, like it's the Middle East. We did end up cosplaying as Altair again though, so yup, the pattern is still here, and so is sequence 7 trophy again. Sequence 8 then broke the pattern, of course, because it's literally the final sequence of actual action. The main fighting and cool things happening here, by the way, all had to do with the Ginger, so it was all for a girl after all. Predictable. But yeah, at first we thought she was gonna get thrown off the tower. Turns out that was another Ginger. Then we had to race to find her as she was being assaulted by gravity and ropes. Didn't know her mental health was that bad. And then it had us do a little couples sunset horse ride, which was very peaceful and beautiful. And I also got to get touched by a man because it's June. Get it? It's a gay month. Anyways, the sequence would then end with the evil man getting beaten by the good one. Seems to be a trend. Why can't the evil guy win for once? There's the sequence 8 trophy. Magic, I know. Sequence 9 then just had cutscenes, and I mean it literally just had cutscenes. Lame? Yes, I know. But hey, they had cool things happening, so whatever. And yeah, there's the sequence 9 trophy right here, followed with 20 minutes of credits. I'm gonna cry. You can't even skip them. I could name so many things that can be done with 20 minutes of time, and your mom is one of them. So now it's time for stage 2, which I like to call the I have no clue what to really do stage, because everything takes so long to do and I don't know what to do. It's a real stage, you can look it up. My first trophy here in the endless cycle of suffering we all call living was just from killing 50 people with the hidden blade. I'll show you a hidden blade. Speaking of hidden blades, I got a trophy right after for fighting and killing 5 guards within 5 seconds with them. God, I love blades that are also hidden. My next trophy was then gotten from completing all of the bomb missions in the game. These are neat little things where you do a mission involving all the different kinds of bombs in the game, and I actually did them all, so I got a trophy for doing them all. Take that, Susan, you bitch. I then got bored of the game, so I decided to play some Desmond missions, which are like tiny little parkour things with Roblox mechanics, and also this looks exactly like to what the DLC missions also look like. Basically, you just do annoying parkour while people talk in the background about lore. And my headphones were slightly broken, so I didn't listen at all. But I did get lots of trophies here, so that's fun. And it also did replenish my thirst for normal gameplay, so I returned and began going after the major collectible trophy, where you need to find all of the Animus data fragments. because there's like 100 of them, and it takes a while to do this, so that sucks. Before getting them all though, I finally completed the Assassin's Control minigame where you send assassins you recruit to foreign lands to complete terrorist attacks. It's actually kind of cool, and so cool that almost every Assassin's Creed game has this feature and trophy in it. And then right after, I did manage to find all 100 data fragments for a trophy, so that's neat. I also climbed a tower fast and got a trophy for climbing it fast called Spider Assassin, but I didn't even kill anyone, so I really don't get it. If someone could explain, I would really appreciate it. I then spent like an hour or two failing to land on a zipline from a parachute because I didn't pay attention in aerodynamics class in middle school. That might be the most white sentence I've ever said in my life. I also got to replay a den defense mission from an earlier sequence so I could complete one without using the cannon, because trying to do that on a real den defense mission is impossible. I then collected all the memoir pages next, which is another collectible, but there's only 10 of them, so it's a lot better than 100. Like, it's actually 10 times better. Math. And finally, I went back and did the full sync trophy with all the optional objectives from the main story. This game has a lot easier objectives in comparison to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but still I missed a few, with my last one being a kill from a hidden place right here. GG, good game, well played, you. I also got a trophy after from just making it to the top of this special needs church. I attend service here every Saturday. I also hired a bunch of thieves to walk behind me and make sure I don't spill anything on my pants. But they also stole from every enemy I killed, so we were a great team. And I got a trophy from stealing from 50 different guards with them. Speaking of teamwork, I tricked the entire Templar remaining forces to have a team huddle, and then I threw a poisonous grenade into the huddle. And it also killed like over 10 of them at once, getting the mosh pit trophy, and this also is a reenactment of the Travis Scott concert a few years ago. Speaking of trophies, I got another one after for breaking scaffolding over enemies that were distracted by a distraction grenade. Not sure how they bottled that one up, but it worked. I also depressingly flew my parachute a long distance into the water and got wet. I then got 3 trophies nearly back to back. First, for getting a triple kill with throwing knives. Crazy agility, gotta say I commend it. Secondly, for poisoning a guard and then watching as he slaughtered millions with no punishment besides death. Adolf moment. And thirdly, for punching that piece of ass that was hitting on my girl earlier. Nobody's allowed to hit her besides me, damn it. I also then got bored again of the story and game, so I finally played the DLC, and it's legit just this parkour the entire time. It's actually so boring, I'm not even gonna make any bad jokes about it because it's so bad. So yeah, here's all the trophies from it. Anyways, we are getting close to the platinum now. In fact, there's like less than 30 trophies until the platinum trophy. But don't come to an orgasm too soon, because the job isn't done and I had to return back to the real world painfully to get some trophies. First, from finally, and I mean finally, getting 7 assassins to max level, which also gave me another trophy for completing a faction guide's entire challenge line. By the way, this game has a much more tedious way to level assassins, and this alone took me like 10 hours of progress to get, which is bullshit. And the next trophy I got was from getting completely lucky and having a tax collector spawn in, tackle him, and take his money. This trophy, by the way, is the most RNG and luck-based I have ever seen in my entire life. That may be an exaggeration, but I did spend 3 hours waiting for him to spawn, and he didn't, so this sucked like a blow. The last trophy I had here in the main game, however, was just from buying every book in the game, and these are so damn overpriced. I decided to AFK the game for money and go do something with my life. Now the remaining trophies I have left are all back inside of this stupid ass DLC. One is a collectible, which is dumb, and the others are like no dying or something and a different ending. I honestly don't know or care. These were horrible and made me hate this game. I seriously don't know how that many Ubisoft development teams managed to cook up such a lackluster DLC. Like, this isn't even a game. This is literally less than what you could find on Roblox made by a pet in his mom's basement. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, there's the Platinum Trophy. So that was the Assassin's Creed Revelations Platinum Trophy experience. Overall, the game was mid. The story was mid. The DLC was below mid. I give it a 4 out of 10. Thank God we are done with these Assassin's Creed games. Ah, fuck.